Well, historic talks between the U.S. and Cuba have wrapped up in Havana.
And while there was some progress, a major sticking point remains. ABC's Serena Marshall is there.
You almost had to wonder if they were at the same meeting.
We do have differences in that subject, profound differences with the Cuban government, and it was part of the conversation today.
Somos países vecinos. But the Cuban diplomat in Spanish telling reporters that human rights was not discussed. The U.S. wants Cuba to allow for freedom of expression and assembly, while Cuba says the U.S. has its own problems with Ferguson and Guantanamo. What did they agree on? They're using the Vienna Convention as the basis for their discussions, and they want to reopen embassies in both countries. And this is not going to be a quick process. After all, the last time the U.S. had an embassy in Cuba, a first-class stamp cost only 4 cents, and Elvis's "Are You Lonesome Tonight" was the #1 hit. By last evening, they had finally spoken about human rights.
We have proposed to the U.S. delegation to have a binational dialogue regarding human rights.
But their positions aren't at an agreement just yet.
What you have to recognize is that we have to overcome more than 50 years of a relationship that was not based on confidence or trust.
Remember, this is just the first meeting, and while no plans have been set yet for the second, the Cubans say if invited, they'd be happy to come to D.C.